Catch the rim, baby. Catch the rim, baby. Dance with this shit.
Davis has surprised the boxing world again with his most intense training video so far, showing off his top-level fitness and sharp technique ahead of his March 1st fight with Lamont Roach. Even with 3 months to go, he already looks fight-ready, sparking strong reactions and plenty of buzz from fans and analysts across social media.
Just overall being something that he's not been in the ring with. I'm the total package, and honestly, sometimes I think he doubts himself. But I'm a competitor, and I feel like I'm the best.
Davis was first set to defend his WBA lightweight title against Roach on December 14th at the Toyota Center in Houston, but the fight was delayed due to scheduling conflicts. It's now set for March 1st at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. While most fighters ease up this far out from fight night, Davis is doing the opposite. His latest training clips and public appearances prove he's already putting in serious work, and the progress is easy to see.
Is that all it takes? Just a little comment?
Nah, but that's what I want, though. I don't want you to fight me like you're saying you're going out.
You always go like this. Always go like this.
Nah, what I'm saying, you just said you feel like you're going out.
They go to sleep.
I don't want you to feel like you're going out.
So for you, that's all it takes. Just one little comment, no, but that's exactly what I'm trying to say. I'm not looking for an argument. I don't want this to turn into the same thing over and over where it feels like it always ends the same way, like you're just tired of it. I don't want you to feel like you're done. I want us to understand each other, not wear each other down. Tank recently made headlines after clips from a press event went viral online. Fans couldn't stop talking about his shredded physique, broad shoulders, ripped arms, and a solid core that stood out right away. Comments poured in, with many saying Lamont Roach is in serious trouble because Tank looks to be in peak condition. One fan said, "Tank looks insane," while others praised his powerful frame, saying his build clearly shows he's ready, but it's not just about size. Tank also looks quicker and lighter on his feet than ever, while most fighters wait until closer to fight night to turn up the intensity. Davis is already ahead of schedule. His year-round training and discipline have made him one of the most focused athletes in boxing, and this isn't just another fight. It's a major showdown against Lamont Roach, the current WBA super featherweight champion.
I think he actually took this fight for the naysayers and all this and all the people talking shit about the fight. I think he actually took the fight because he know that I'm a dog, and he want to prove it.
Roach has been given special permission by the WBA to move up in weight and challenge Davis for his lightweight title while still holding on to his 130-pound championship. Roach earned the WBA super featherweight belt with a close split decision win over Hector Luis Garcia in November 2023 and defended it in June against Fergal MCC. Now he's chasing a spot among the few two-division world champions, a major step that would cement his legacy, but beating Gervonta Davis won't be easy. Tank is already seen as the top fighter at lightweight and proved it with a dominant 8th-round knockout over Frank Martin in June. With a record packed with explosive finishes and a strong in-ring presence, Davis is viewed as one of boxing's most dangerous opponents today.
Why was it so easy when he fought Frank Martin?
Frank Martin was inexperienced and nervous. You know, it is what it is. It's going to be a different fight when I'm in there. He's going to be a different fighter when he's fighting me.
Hey, what's your game plan?
Whoop his ass. I'm always looking for a knockout. No matter what, I'm always prepared for 12 rounds. But I'm always looking for a knockout, and if I get the chance, I'm going to try to knock his head off.
While fans are hyped for Davis versus Roach, many were hoping to see Davis face Vasyl Lomachenko in a unification bout this year. Talks between their camps started in early 2024, but fell apart by July when Lomachenko decided to take a break from boxing. His manager Eyes Kuz confirmed that Lomachenko isn't ready for a fight with Davis and won't return until 2025. This news disappointed fans, especially since there were reports that both sides had already agreed to terms, but top-ranked president Todd DeBoeuf later said the talks never got very far. For now, the Lomachenko fight is off the table, and all eyes are on the upcoming Davis versus Roach battle.
We fought twice in the same tournament. So, yeah, and we fought in the Junior Olympics, in the regionals, and we fought in the nationals.
Okay. You fought in the regionals and then fought again in the nationals?
Lamont Roach is a skilled and focused fighter, but he'll need to be at his absolute best to take on Davis. Moving up in weight to face someone with Tank's speed, power, and precision is no easy task. Roach has proven himself at super featherweight, but this fight is a different kind of test. With just 3 months until March 1st, the buzz is already building. Davis's intense training clips and incredible shape have only added to the hype. Still, not everyone sees Tank as the major threat he's made out to be. Sean Porter is especially intrigued by this matchup, calling it more than just a title defense. It's a long-running rivalry dating back to their amateur days. Porter believes Roach's deep familiarity with Davis could make the fight closer than many expect as a former champion and experienced analyst. Porter is expecting a strong and competitive showdown when they meet at the Barclays Center. In an interview with Fight Hub TV, Sean Porter explained why Roach's past with Davis could play a major role in the fight. Porter said, "Lamont Roach knows Tank Davis better than anyone else. They didn't just meet in the amateurs, they've also trained together. Roach has seen Davis up close, both inside and outside the ring, and that kind of familiarity makes a difference." With a strong 25-1 record, Roach has spent years studying Davis. He understands how Tank moves, hits, and thinks something most of Davis's opponents haven't had. Porter believes that kind of insight can shift the entire fight, because when you know a fighter's rhythm, speed, and mindset, it changes everything.
Tank all day, baby. Tank all day. Easy work. Easy work. My money goes to it, baby.
All right, guys. Please, right in the front, right here.
Even though Roach is familiar with Davis, Sean Porter admits there's still a clear gap in power and skill between the two. Davis holds an unbeaten 30-0 record with 28 knockouts and is known as one of the most explosive fighters. In boxing today, his recent knockout of Frank Martin in the 8th round this past June was his 3rd straight stoppage win and added to his growing legend. Meanwhile, Roach has rebuilt strongly since his 2019 loss to Jamal Herring for the WBO title. He's won 6 fights in a row and claimed the WBA junior lightweight belt in November 2023 by edging out Hector Luis Garcia in a split decision. He then defended his title with an 8th round stoppage of Fergal McCoy this past June. While Roach's rise is impressive, it still doesn't match Tank's resume, making Davis a clear favorite heading into this highly anticipated matchup.
What? Who said that? You said what? You said what? Yeah, that's why I've been waiting for the niggas to talk. How much you want back? How much you want it back? Because I came up here alone. How much y'all want back? How much you want back? Just call it out. Huh? 100? That's a bet.
Porter isn't completely ruling Roach out. He believes Roach's past experience with Davis's power could play a key role in how the fight unfolds. This might be a fight where Roach just keeps taking shots and keeps going. He's been in that spot before, Porter said. If Roach can absorb the punches and keep fighting, we've got a real fight on our hands. That's where things get interesting. Roach isn't walking in blind. He already knows what Davis's power feels like, and that could be his biggest edge. Porter added, when you've taken those kinds of hits before and you know what to expect, it's a whole different situation than getting hit like that for the first time.
Been able to solve Tank Davis. What do you need to do together with you and your team and obviously your son to score that victory?
We got a game plan. We're gonna execute it, and we're gonna get the results.
Move that head, bob and weave.
Still, Porter is honest about Roach's chances. Knowing Davis's style doesn't mean Roach is fully prepared to deal with it. Most fighters are caught off guard the first time they face Tank's speed and skill that won't happen to Lamont Roach, Porter explained. But being ready for it and being able to keep up with it are two very different things. This fight comes down to levels. Tank Davis operates at the elite tier of boxing, while Roach, despite his growth and success, is still chasing that standard. As Porter said, just because you see it coming doesn't mean you can stop it. Davis's combination of power, speed, and fight IQ is on another level, and Roach will need more than experience to close that gap.
My whole family's from DC. My whole family, like my entire family.
Don't bring them.
For what?
Don't bring them. telling you,
They
don't
gonna
bring 'em.
celebrate with me. You hear
Don't
me?
bring 'em.
It's gonna be a party on your floor.
I'm gonna let y'all know, son. His father was up here
It's
shaking
gonna
on the
be-
what's the name? He was shaking on the
Pops.
on my kids. He was shaking on this thing.
Porter put it best. Roach might not be caught off guard by Tank, but that doesn't mean he's ready for the pressure Davis is about to bring. Fans should expect Roach to put up a solid fight, but Davis's dominance will likely shine through. This matchup isn't just about history, it's a test of whether Roach's experience with Davis can close the gap in skill, and whether Tank can continue his reign at the top. One thing's for sure, March 1st is shaping up to be an unforgettable night. At the same time, Stephen A. Smith isn't thrilled about Davis choosing Lamont Roach as his opponent. With the WBA lightweight title on the line at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, Smith believes Davis could have gone for a tougher, more high-profile challenge.
I say 9th round.
What?
I say 9th round.
You said 9?
Yeah.
What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared. Look, he looked at night.
I'm telling him, you saying you going down in a night? You know that power occurred late.
Stephen A. Smith believes Gervonta Tank. Davis should be facing bigger and stronger opponents in the 135 or 140-pound divisions, fighters who truly match his size and power. Instead, he's taking on Lamont Roach, a smaller, super featherweight with a 25-1 record and just 10 knockouts. While Roach is talented, Smith thinks the size and power difference gives Tank too much of an edge. Many fans share Stephen A.'s opinion, saying Tank is playing it safe by picking fights where he's clearly favored. Despite these complaints, Tank's fights still do huge numbers on pay-per-view, letting him make big money without taking major risks. Critics argue that his career is being managed carefully, more focused on protecting his image than proving himself against the top names. Some even say Tank's career is being handled like a slow-dripping oil well, steady, but never pushed to full capacity. Talking with Sean Seidel, Stephen A. said, "I think Roach is too small, and that's my issue. I'm not questioning his skill set." He compared this matchup to Tank's fight with Frank Martin, who had only 18 pro bouts and stirred things up during the press conference. Tank warned him, "You really should have waited, you don't have enough experience." And he proved it in the ring, dominating Martin from the start. Martin, who's 29, had already shown weaknesses in a tough fight against Artem Haratunian. But when the Tank fight came up, the payday was too big to turn down even if it meant stepping into the ring. With one of the most dangerous punchers in boxing, Tank's upcoming fight with Lamont, Roach has sparked more criticism from Stephen A. Smith, who's frustrated by what he sees as a pattern in Tank's career. He argues that fighters like Roach, a junior lightweight moving up in weight, shouldn't be facing someone with Davis's size, power, and skills. Tank is too great and too skilled to be fighting smaller guys, Stephen A. said, adding that Davis has the kind of punching power that could threaten even welterweights or middleweights, though that might be a stretch. Stephen A. believes that if a champion isn't known for knockout power, fighting a smaller opponent can be fair. But when the bigger guy is also the power puncher, it creates an unfair matchup. He feels Davis should be facing fighters at or above his weight, naming Teofimo Lopez as the kind of opponent fans really want to see. Still, Stephen A. may be missing a key part of the picture. Fighters like Frank Martin didn't have the luxury to wait years for experience before stepping in with Tank. By then, Davis could be retired. In today's boxing business, decisions are shaped by timing, risk, and money. Tank's team has managed his career to minimize danger and maximize earnings. He's never taken a true 50-50 fight, and with retirement likely approaching, it probably won't change. To some, it looks like Davis's career is being run like a business. Investment, build the record. Avoid real threats and keep the paychecks coming. It works financially, but critics like Stephen A. say it's holding him back from proving just how great he really is. Stephen A.'s comments reflect a wider frustration among boxing fans. He believes Tank Davis is too talented to keep taking fights that don't truly challenge him. While there's no denying Tank's star power and knockout ability continue to draw big crowds and pay-per-view numbers, Critics argue that he's not being pushed to prove how great he really is. The upcoming fight against Lamont Roach fits the same pattern. Roach is a solid fighter, but he's coming up from a lower weight class and is seen by many as a clear underdog. For Davis, it looks like another safe matchup and opportunity to stay active, grab another win, and put on a show. But for fans like Stephen A., it feels like a wasted opportunity to see Tank in a fight that could test his limits and strengthen his legacy. Many in the boxing world want to see Davis take on top-level opponents, fighters in his weight class or above who can match his speed, power, and skill. Till that happens, the criticism will keep coming. Tank may continue building his record, but the real question remains: when will he take the kind of fight that truly defines a champion? Until Davis takes on the top-tier names in his division, the criticism probably won't go away. Jared Swift Hurd recently shared his thoughts on the fight. While he tried to keep things balanced, it's clear he's leaning toward Davis, and it's easy to see why. Tank is 30-0 with 28 knockouts and currently holds the WBA lightweight belt. Hurd, a former unified champ at 154 pounds, has a lot of respect for Davis and sees him as one of the most talented fighters in the sport today. Hurd praised Davis not just for his knockout power, but for his intelligence in the ring and his ability to connect with fans. However, he also understands the criticism surrounding Tank's career. Despite his flawless record, many still question whether he's done enough to prove himself against the best in his division. Hurd agrees with that view. He says Davis is actually underrated, not because of a lack of talent, but because he hasn't consistently faced the top names people want to see him fight. It might sound strange to call an undefeated knockout artist underrated, but that's how many in boxing feel. Yes, Davis has beaten strong opponents like Leo Santa Cruz, Ryan Garcia, and Frank Martin, but critics argue that until he consistently goes up against the elite at 135 or 140, there will always be doubts about where he really stands among boxing's best.
Here's my take on the fight. Everything is true about this situation. One, Gervonta Tank Davis was being ducked leading up to this. Shakur Stevenson ducked him. Lomachenko ducked him openly. El Rayo didn't want to fight this year. He wanted to fight next year. Another thing is, I was hearing that Tank wanted it at 135 and rehydration, all kind of shit. So, but I don't know how true that is, which it wouldn't shock me if that was true. Either way, for whatever reason, El Rayo fell apart. The option...
Tank Davis's skills are undeniable. He's not just known for his knockout power, he's also a smart, adaptable fighter who knows how to take control of a match. His knockout win over Frank Martin in June showed that perfectly. Davis waited for the right moment, picked his shots, and ended the fight with authority. That kind of performance is exactly why he's the clear favorite going into the March 1 fight with Lamont Roach. But this bout might be more than just another title defense. It could mark the beginning of the end for Tank's career. Fans are already buzzing about what could come next, and the pressure is on for Davis to finally face the elite names in his division. Fighters like Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, and Devin Haney are the ones people want to see him go up against. Those are the matchups that could silence the critics and define Tank's legacy once and for all.
Man, I mean, it's going to go. Tank going to be losing the first 3 rounds. Then he's going to download the data. Then he going to knock this dude out in round 7 or 8. Then he going to do the backflip. Then Jim Gray's going to get in the ring, or Caleb Plant's wife, and say, who do you want next? And Tank's going to say, I want all those guys. And they're going to go to the press conference, and Elliot Setback's going to say, who do you want next? He say, I want all the guys. This is a pretty much...
For now, all eyes are on Brooklyn. Tank knows this fight isn't just about defending his title, it's about showing everyone why he's one of the best pound-for-pound fighters out there. Roach, meanwhile, has everything to gain and nothing to lose, which makes him a real threat. But the big question remains, is that enough to take down Davis? That's the answer everyone is eager to see.